welcome to Life Coaching with Tammy. Today we have a special guest, my friend Bruce Solotoff, who is going to talk with us today about skills he has developed to help us get through life. But I'm going to let Bruce talk about it. So everyone, welcome Bruce. Hi, Bruce.
Hi, Tammy. How you doing?
Good.
Welcome to this moment.
Thank you to welcoming to the moment. How are you?
I'm pretty damn good, I must say.
Good.
Better than well.
So, are you going to share with us a little bit about you and what you do and how you can help us?
I will do my best. I've been teaching some skills for the past couple of years that have been helping people change their life almost immediately and for the rest of their lives from then on for the better. I've had 100% success rate. I invented these skills over the course of more than 45 years of studying metaphysics. I started at the tender age of 16. I'm 67 now. And I came across a way not only to let go of negative feelings. What do we call negative feelings? It's a dense vibration, painful, uncomfortable, stress, trauma, all of that stuff can actually be released from our system like air from a balloon. Up until now, as far as I can tell, people have felt that the best way to handle relieving themselves of this discomfort and pain is either through meditation, which is great. Yoga is good. The only problem with those are that you have to be isolated in a particular space at a particular time to concentrate. Although there is walking meditation, that's a skill. The other thing is therapy, having to do with expressing your feelings, which is also good, but it doesn't really help you clear the deck. It can take a very long time doing that. Let me explain.
Yes.
To begin with, I just want to make a point that we only have a finite amount of negativity in our system. It's not infinite. It's like there's a bucket full of hardened clay, and the more clay you get rid of, the lighter the bucket. The more negativity you let go of, the less you contain. So I just wanted to make that point to begin with. But I think the best way that I can explain what I do without actually teaching everyone how to do it right now, I use a metaphor, starting with the understanding that there are four things that humans can do with feelings. We suppress them. I'm not going to go into details about that. Everybody knows what suppressing is. We tend to try to escape them, which is when you can't suppress it fast enough so you can feel better. So you go do something else, like go to the movies, have sex, do drugs, alcohol, collect comic books, whatever, to distract yourself until you can push the rest of it down.
Right.
And then there's therapy. And finally, there's something called releasing, which very few people know about, and certainly very few people would know how to enact it at will. But let me explain. I use a metaphor of a glass tea kettle. For example, if you take a glass tea kettle and you fill it with sort of cloudy water to the point where you can't really see through it, but now on the other side is complete clarity. It's knowledge, it's capability, it's love, it's it's what we're made of. It's our natural state, so to speak. But covering our natural state are these cloudy, dense, negative, uncomfortable feelings that also get in the way of our being able to see clearly. I can tell you right now, once and forever, you can never see the truth through feelings. Never. It can't be done. As long as there's some feelings in the way, everything is going to be colored by those feelings to some degree, and it will cloud your vision. But how do we do something about that? Well, if you take that glass tea kettle and you put it on the stove and you turn the fire on, Now you've got this heat coming up and it's banging molecules together and creating steam inside the tea kettle, building pressure until finally the tea kettle goes psss and lets off some steam with a little bit of water, you know, and eventually you turn the fire off and it all calms down. And that's like an expression. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're not really letting go of a lot, but you are letting you're letting go enough to feel relieved from the pressure. In my mind, that's what happens in therapy. They get you to express, they get the feeling up, you feel the pressure out, you let it go by an expression of one form or another, and you feel relieved. And that's great. You can think better, you see things better, and then a little bit later on, the feelings come up again. Now, the fourth thing that you can do with feelings, the releasing thing, is when you take the same tea kettle and you put it on the stove and you turn the fire on and it starts, the heat builds up and the steam builds up inside and it builds a lot of pressure. But instead of just letting the steam escape, you take the whole tea kettle over to the sink, you take the lid off and you turn it upside down and pour everything out. That's a release. That's something everybody needs to know how to do. We're capable of doing it, but almost everybody doesn't even know it's possible or that it exists for that matter.
Correct.
So I teach how to do that. I've discovered how to do that. I can tell you from all the years that I've been working on this stuff, and I've been scientifically exploring this material every single day, I can tell you that we weren't meant to hold on to negative feelings. We do. We don't know how to let it go as well as we can, but we can just let it go and it will clear out of the way of our ability to see clearly, feel better, know what the truth is. You know, I like to think of everything in two categories, like every situation, every feeling, it's two categories. I call it column A and column B. Column A is technically what's true, technically how things are really working that are balancing out against each other, the machinery of the universe, so to speak. Column B is how we feel about it. Can't see the clarity in column A through the feelings in column B. The more you let go of that stuff, the more clarity you get to see, the better you feel, the better able you are to make choices and decisions based on current circumstances rather than past programming. How's that sound?
I love that. Past programming. I think
Make
that's
decisions based on current circumstances rather than past. We have programs programmed in to protect the other programs. We're so full of all these pre-decisions that we've made based on feelings, certainly not based on clarity. Fear, anger, grief, greed, apathy. Apathy is the lowest vibration negative feeling. And negative feelings have an anatomy that isn't in the positive feelings of our natural state.
huh.
Maybe I should tell them a little bit. Natural state versus negative feelings, right?
So our negative feelings, and when we explode in anger, which is not a healthy way to release and probably doesn't serve us well at all.
No. Anger is it's a feeling that where we feel like we have to control anything and everything ourselves, and we have to do it. We have to use our force and our energy and our intention to overpower and fix and change, or I mean, it comes from these feelings, but at root, all negative feelings have fundamental roots of judgment and blame. And you won't find judgment and blame in courageousness or love or acceptance or gratitude or peace or joy. There's no judgment and no blame in that. And that's what we're made of. What am I talking about? Let me explain.
Yes.
Let's say, Tammy, that an alien came down from another planet and saw you as the first human being that they've ever seen. They might think your clothes are part of your body. But no, lovely as they are, you can take them off. You can take this off. When you get down to this, you go, I can't take this off. That's me. You can release negative feelings. You can't release yourself. The point is most people seem to think there are good feelings and bad feelings. The truth is there are uncomfortable and painful feelings, and there's your natural state. If you took away all the negative feelings that we contain, what's left is your aware, conscious, powerful, loving, natural state. That's you. That's me. That's everybody. The trick has always been how to let this stuff go. When I discovered how to do this, my chief grievance has been, why doesn't everyone else know? And how can I help everyone know? It's simple. It works. It's like nothing anyone's ever really done or is doing today. The only way I'm able to communicate to people what I'm doing and how it works is by my students giving me testimonials about how incredible it's working for them and how they never would have expected that to be learning something completely new that works. It works every time. It's not required that you sit or focus or concentrate. It's simple material. I teach it. It's easy to get, and it works every time. You can use the skill in the middle of an argument. You could use the skill of writing in your car. You could use it vacuuming the living room rug or hanging out in the loo, wherever you are. You can release if you know how. I have had people who had serious depressions coming to talk to me, and I teach them how to do this. And they let go a lot in the first class. It's about four meetings, over 4 weeks.
Okay.
And it continues to get better and better because it works every time you use it. You always feel better. You always get lighter. And the more you release, the less you contain, so the more you have available of your own clarity and ability.
So we're able to get out of that fog and be in who we truly are.
Exactly. The fog diminishes. Over time, it diminishes a lot. I've been working at it since I was 16. Now that I've gone through all of that, you don't have to. I've condensed it into some clear material that I can teach, and it works. And that's all I can tell you. Oh, I can tell you this. I teach for free. I don't charge for this. I think everyone should know it. I work with the laws of the universe. I understand the laws of the universe. I'm happy to share that material as well. But I work with the laws of abundance. And I'm putting that into motion. I have been for many years. I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of loose cash. I have enough for the bills to be paid and for us to have money to get what we need when we need it. I've been helping other people with money when I can, sometimes substantially. And it's because I work with the laws of the universe, and that includes, as far as I'm concerned, and I can explain it, I'm teaching for free. That works.
I think that's wonderful. It's great that you found a skill that works and you're sharing it with other people. I know I've worked with you and it does work. And I think it's something to keep working on. And I liked it so much, I wanted to share it with other people. But
You like me so well, you want to share me with other people too?
well, that's not up to me. Bruce is a married man, people. In regards to abundance, it's not just money. I mean, you have a lovely life. You're doing great things. You got a
Yeah.
talented children.
Would you like to hear how the laws of abundance work?
Yes, I would. I think that would
Do
be
we have
great.
time for that? Because I'd love to share it.
I think we could fit that in. Let's hope. Let's try.
Okay. Okay. It's very interesting. Okay. First of all, you need to understand that the universe is fertile soil. Whatever you put into it, it grows, and you get more back than what you put in. That's just natural. If you think of a farm where, of course, they till the soil and they they broadcast seeds. That's the original term for broadcasting. They walk around with a basket full of seeds, and they would broadcast them in front of them, like throwing seeds into the future that's going to grow up and you're going to walk into, but broadcasting seeds into the future. And it grows and it comes back your way. It doesn't take much. It's like if I had a handful of redwood seeds for redwood trees and I planted them, they would grow into a small redwood forest. How many seeds can I hold? A redwood forest. And then that redwood forest could be cut down and turned into a town. And here I am standing on the hill looking at this town that I had in the palm of my hands. Everything grows. Now, as far as what you want back in your life, what should you plant to get back in your life? Well, it's very specific. You plant love to get love. You plant friendship to get friendship. If you plant bad things, you'll get that too. It'll keep coming back until you cut it out and start planting more good things. But the truth is, you can't plant corn to get carrots, right?
Correct.
You want money in your life? Give it away. Give it to whoever would take it from you. And you're planting seeds in the universe and telling the universe, I have abundance. I have enough to give away. And the universe is like a puppy dog. It does whatever you tell it. So if you say that, it says, okay, you have abundance. And here, it will work to make it true. The dominoes of the universe are falling all the time. It's up to us to determine where they go. Foster Hibbard was one of my mentors, and he used to say, if you want to be wealthy, walk around and make believe you're a millionaire. He said, make like an actor on stage. Make believe you're a millionaire. You feel the benefit of having all this money. If you have all this money, you worried about rent? No. You want to have lunch in France? Okay. If you feel the benefit of having the money, not wanting. Wanting is not having.
Yes.
Wanting says, I don't have. And what are you writing on the blackboard of the universe? I don't have money. And the universe goes, okay, you got it.
Right.
If you can feel, and you can feel and experience the benefit of having whatever you want, but we're just talking about money here in abundance in the form of money. If you can experience having, regardless of whether it's literally in your hand right now, experiencing it in advance, planting seeds, the universe will be happy to accommodate you with unexpected income. It doesn't matter what your talents and skills are, although it's great. It doesn't matter how much money you're trying to make yourself feel better having out of greed, because you can never fill that hole. Greed, you can't fill the hole of greed no matter what it is that you're trying to fill it with. It's a bottomless pit. But if you can feel the benefit of having in advance, I like to share with my students this notion, okay? Thank you for the solution. Even if I don't know what it is, at least I know I have it. And even if I don't have it now, that doesn't mean it's not coming. Knowing you have the thing that you intend to have tells the universe to give it to you. That's done by visualizing it and feeling the benefit of having already gotten it. That's the magic. That's the gas on the pedal of the car that drives your universe to where you want it to be.
So we're not worrying about it. We already know we have it. We don't have to think about it.
No, not once you've come to the conclusion that it's already yours. You don't have to think about it much at all. Just let it happen. Okay. Now, I've been doing this for years. And it doesn't matter who you give the money to, by the way. It could be a guy who's homeless or who you're convinced will use it to buy booze and drugs and whatever, you know. You know, it doesn't matter what they use it for. I mean, that's their story and their life and their lessons. But you are giving it, and that opens the door for more to come in. I've had situations where things have been, you know, I had a bicycle once that was stolen from me. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? I'm not getting that bike back. But what I have inside of me is the pain of having had it taken and of not having it now. And I turned that around. After I did some releasing on it, I turned that around. I said, you know what? I don't know what the need for that person who took it was. And it doesn't matter. I'm going to give them the bike. I give it to them in my mind and in my heart. It's a gift. And what do you know, soon after that, someone else gave me a bike. It was better than the one I lost.
Isn't that amazing?
You open the door.
You open the door.
As opposed to holding on to it. I'm like, what are you holding on to? I'm holding on to this bike I don't have. Just so I can
yeah, that doesn't even make sense.
But it does make you feel bad.
Right.
Let it go. You know, it's very interesting.
That is interesting. Did I freeze you? There we are. We're back.
Huh?
I had you frozen for a moment.
Oh, well, you're good now. I can see you moving.
Okay.
Now you're a moving target. There you go.
Can you catch me now?
So does that work?
I like that. Yeah. That is really, that makes perfect sense. That's what I believe.
Yeah. Let me put it to you this way, okay? You can experiment. Now, ideally, the optimum amount should be 10%. So like if you get to a point where you give away 10% of your income, that's optimum to the cosmic math in the universe to be throwing money at you in a relatively short amount of time, lots of it. But you don't have to take my word for it or try that. I think trying to think of giving away 10% of your income is painful in most cases. We're working, you know, a lot of us are working hand to mouth. We got to count
lately, yeah, and it's hard. It can be difficult.
but if you give away 1%, okay, and the other trick to this is if you can make it consistent. You don't have to, it's not mandatory, but if you figure, oh, I can give away $20 in a month, if that's just making that up. You give away $5 a week. There's a consistency to that, like a heartbeat, like nature, but water ebbs and flows, okay? Nature is like this. A bird can only fly if its wings go up and down, not just down. That would be paralysis, but movement, okay? If you really want to make this a powerful move, then you do a percentage and make an even amount each week or twice a week. I mean, I did like once a month, that was a consistency with that over time. It's all worked out. I have no problem if I give someone grace who is questionable and give them the opportunity to do the right thing, and and I'm paying them to do something, perhaps. It's up to them if they cause a problem and I lose my money, I give it to them. I'm planting seeds. They, on the other hand, have a lot of issues to contend with, and I feel sorry about that, but that's their story. Okay, if they're not acting honorably, they have lessons to learn. I'm letting it go because I know more is coming my way. I'm planting seeds.
Boy, that just feels relieving. Makes sense.
Right? You don't have to feel the pain of being taken advantage of. You can turn it into your benefit. I've seen people, I've given money to people, and it's made me feel better to do it than whatever I'm going into is better. I remember Foster Hibbert said once he was going to do a lecture in Sacramento, and he was a little trepidatious about the lecture, so he looked around for someone who needed money. They just gave him a couple of dollars, and he immediately felt better. Wow. That's what he says. I think it's a great way to go. I've been in situations where I've had 20 bucks in my pocket and I am staying in a hotel room and I have no money for the next week. And I see two people who are living on the street. And I gave them my 20 bucks.
Right.
I ended up okay.
It's amazing how things work out like that when you believe. You weren't worried about it. We knew that everything would be okay.
Absolutely. That's the law of the universe. That's the law of abundance as regards the laws of the universe. If you can experience, and you can, that you have instead of want, that you can instead of can't, the universe will work its way, to make it true. It's already true. That's what you're writing on the blackboard of the universe. That's your script. And the universe says, okay, the dominoes are always falling. It's up to us to choose where they go. And we do that all the time, consciously or unconsciously. We see bad things happening in the world. We feel bad about it. And we keep doing that. We keep seeing it, feeling bad about it. And what are we putting out into the world? Our uncomfortable feelings, our fears, our doubts, and so the universe is going to keep giving you more of that. The other side is true too, by the same token. If we can take the time to step into the future and look back on how everything worked, not specifically, just that it did. I do this all the time. I see a very enlightened society. It's coming our way. I've seen it for years. And everything that's happening now is making that happen. It's part of it. No matter how uncomfortable it may feel. But by the same token, humans tend to learn through adversity. When things are painful and difficult, we're motivated to solve the problem in the best way we can that we know of. It helps if we know better ways.
Correct.
That's where I come in.
Right.
But yeah, we do it anyway. Why not do it consciously? Why not make a better life for yourself?
We don't need to suffer. There's tools and skills we can learn. And
absolutely.
I think that's better.
As for releasing, that's what I teach. I can't show you in 2 minutes on a lecture.
No.
But anybody wants to talk to me, give me a call. We'll set up an appointment, and you can join the small legion of people who understand how to achieve a measure of enlightenment quickly and successfully, and have fun doing it.